Welcome back to the Cover to Cover Girls Book Club podcast. I'm Michelle. This is our other host, Allie Bell.
Here she is.
Neither of us know how to do the introduction, so that's your
12. It's
intro.
actually, this is our 12th episode.
It's our 12th episode and we still don't know each other's names.
Yeah, who are you?
She's like, and this is the other one.
This is the
Oh,
other one. I met
gosh.
her like 8 years ago.
Oh, my goodness. We have a really fun book today. I'm so excited about this one.
This is going to be a lively discussion because this has been a book that has been put in the hands of a lot of people. I
Has
have
it?
seen it everywhere. Heather McMahon had it.
Did
Um,
she?
uh, Victoria from the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders
I
Netflix
didn't watch.
series. She has the book. She met Emily Giffin. Emily
No,
Giffin
she
has
didn't.
been making the book tour circuit
Wait,
rounds.
what? See, this is so
Yes,
weird because I haven't seen it anywhere.
that's wild because
Well, we're
I
on.
saw it on not even our book club Instagram, but on my personal Instagram for the past
Wow.
2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
we should say what we're reading. It is the Summer
oh,
Pact. It's the Summer Pact by Emily Giffin. It was my first book read by her. Hallie Bell, you
mm,
want to give like a summary?
yes, this is my second Emily Giffin book. I read Meant to Be last summer, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And this book comes with a pretty heavy warning in the beginning for suicide. And just so you guys know, we are going to be talking about suicide. So this is your cover to cover girls trigger warning.
Hmm.
Warning. So please take it seriously. This book has a pretty heavy start, and it starts with a girl named Summer who commits suicide right out of the gate. She has three best friends she leaves behind in college, two girls. Um, Hannah and Lainey,
Lainey.
and a guy friend named
What is his name? Tyson? It's Tyson.
Tyson. Oh, thank God you remembered. That was not coming out of that.
No.
Um, and they are four best friends. Their third friend left them too prematurely. They go their separate ways in lives, but stay in touch, and they promise to be together in tough times. They make a summer pact basically for the in memory of their friend Summer, saying they won't let each other go down that road.
Yeah.
So flash forward, Hannah is engaged to a jerk and he cheats on her. And so she summons her friends. Well, they come on their
No,
own
she does.
accord,
Yeah.
but
No, she does
they
not
come on
summon
their own
them.
accord, but they are summoned by the pact.
Yep.
And they buoy her up and decide to take a summer trip. And they decide to all pick a place that they want to go visit. And that's kind of where the book takes off. They go to these three places. The first place picked is Texas for the girl Lainey, who has a crazy backstory of her mom was dating a married man with other children.
Yeah.
And so her mom passed away a couple of years ago, and here we go. Here's our guest appearance.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
shirtless today,
Yes.
wearing a
Dang
shirt.
it. Dang it. It's my
Sorry,
favorite part of the
ladies.
podcast. It's my favorite part of the podcast.
Anyways.
I'm keeping that in.
Junie, close this door. He doesn't close the door,
No, he
so here I
closed it.
go.
He closed it. He closed it, right? Anyway, I'll take over while Hallie closes the door. Lainey has a troubled past with her parents, and Hannah forces them to go to Texas to meet her two half sisters. Take it away, Hallie Bell.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you just carried on.
I did. Yeah, they went to
um,
Texas to meet her sisters.
They do it. It doesn't go well. Lainey
No.
makes them promise to like end the endeavor, even though they haven't met the second sister.
Yeah.
And of course, Hannah doesn't listen, and she starts instigating because their next stop is Capri, which was Tyson's pick, which was Summer's pick
Mm-hmm.
previously, and his former flame before she passed away. They were starting something. And so he picks Capri in her honor. They have an interesting time in Capri.
Oh God, don't get me started. This book just has too many things. Okay, sorry, keep going, keep going.
It lingers in Capri for pretty much for like the 40% of the
Yeah,
book.
most of the book is, yeah.
And so they're there, they're trying to mix it up. The feelings between Lainey and Tyson blossom and they start a romance. Hannah still continues to seek out the other sister on Lainey's behalf and they start a love affair as well.
It's just so many different love affairs.
And then they don't make it to Paris until a few years later, which was the third location, which was Lainey's pick. Because Lainey goes off the rails in Capri, and because she has an underlying drinking problem that no one really addresses. And
Sorry, it's not
she
funny.
ends up, it's not funny. She ends up in the hospital and almost dies, and her friends are there for her. And they make her vow to make life changes, and she does. They go to Paris. Lainey and Tyson get engaged. They do a run in the honor of Summer,
And that's
and
it.
there you go.
I
How'd I
think it's
do?
that's all that's what happens. I think it's important to point out what they do. So like Hannah is like an interior designer,
Mm,
Southern Belle. Lainey is a
yes,
famous actress. Well,
yes.
she's on her way to stardom. And Tyson is an attorney. He's a lawyer. Yeah, he's a lawyer, but he quits his job, picks up with his girlfriend to go on this trip with his other two best girlfriends.
And she rightfully gets upset about that.
Oh, I
What do you
wrote that.
think
That was one
about
of,
that?
yeah, let's start there. That was literally one
Okay,
of my
that's a good
notes.
place to start.
Yeah, I wrote, oh, where is it? I said Tyson's girlfriend Nicole is kind of valid for feeling uncomfortable, only if she's like never met Hannah. Like, of course, I would be so mad. Like, I get it, you guys are best friends, but like you're gonna quit your job and break up with me to go on a could to go on this like 3 month vacation
This was the right
with
move
your
on her
two.
part. And I don't think that Tyson would argue. I mean, it was definitely his emotions in the beginning were like, I don't understand. Which, let's get into the audiobook reader.
Stop. Halle Bell was so in love with this audiobook reader and he was so awful.
I can't wait to see a photo of this man.
What do you mean, a photo of the audiobook reader?
Yeah.
Wait, do you
What's
have a
he look
photo?
like?
Uh,
His
I'm
voice
pulling.
is just, he has got the tone. I just love it.
I hated it. I hated it so much.
And he's got
JD
like a New York accent, and it's just like
J
butter.
Yeah, his name is JD Jackson.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looked up
He's a JD.
JD Jackson audiobook reader. It's funny it's not loading because I'm not on Wi-Fi because oh here it comes.
Oh, oh.
Now this is an issue with audio. Oh, Halle Bell. This is exactly what we would think he would look like. Wait,
Shall we? Shall we?
show me to me,
Yes.
Rachel. There he is.
Montel Jackson? Hello.
JD Jackson. There he
I'm
is. Look at this picture. Look
dying.
at this picture.
Smooth, smooth,
He is
smooth,
smooth
smooth.
operator.
I love him, love him, love him.
Okay, so how did you feel about that, Nicole?
Um,
I thought Nicole was
oh,
valid.
it's just like ridiculous. Like I just would I'm a jealous woman and I just would never be. I mean, it's okay to have girlfriends, but like you're not going to go on a trip without me.
Yeah,
He didn't even invite her.
and he broke up with her.
It just was ridiculous. And you know, the trigger warning, we're going to talk about suicide. Summer committing suicide and not having any like closure. I know
This is
in real life there's a lot of cases of like non-closure for suicide. However, I do feel like for a book there needed to be some sort of like summer chapter or like a summer understanding.
Okay.
What do
See,
you
I
think?
I disagree with you, but I agree
Oh
that
no.
there should oh no. Start. What did you say that time? Here comes the roast. The roast is
Here it
cooking.
comes.
No, I I agree that there should have been a summer chapter. Like at the very end, we should have
At the
gotten a
very
chapter
end.
from Summer's perspective. But I love that she left it open to interpretation as to why she, you know,
Well, so why do you think she did that?
I think it was the cheating. I think because Summer was a student athlete and she was going to med school and she like had a really high like her life was set and she had never done anything wrong. She was like a perfect godly woman. She had never done anything bad. And so I think she got caught cheating on her. She was very stressed about this final exam. It was her final of college. And I think she got caught cheating. And the school they went to had a one strike policy. So she would have lost everything. She would have lost all of her grades, her GPA, her entire transcript. Like, so I think she genuinely thought, oh my God, I cheated on this and I got caught. Like, my life is over because there was no saving her school, you know?
I just think that the way she started it, it felt like we were going to unravel some more of Summer's background. And I guess we do with Tyson. But we didn't get Lainey's last words to Summer, which I thought was weird. We got
We
like
didn't
her drink. We didn't.
after the
She didn't
fact.
never, she didn't never like come out and be like, this is what, because we got what Hannah's last words were, we got what Tyson's was, and Lainey, she
Yeah.
went off after she died to like go party and
Because of her underlying alcoholism.
which let's get to that.
Wait,
Oh, okay.
well, not wait. You can keep going. I made this color coordinated outline because I
I
feel
mean, because there's
so,
just so much with
no,
this book. And I will
we
say,
need,
once I got started, I was like very invested. And then they lingered in Capri way too long. And it really
it was a long
lost
time.
me.
Okay, let's go to Lainey. Let's
Okay.
talk about Lainey. What do you
Lainey's character, to me, I mean, I wish I'd gotten some background with her in Summer. I wish I would have understood their friendship. I mean, we just don't get much. I
we
mean,
didn't
we
see
get
any
that
of it.
Lainey took her shopping. That was like one thing that was mentioned in Capri. But I do feel
Oh
like
yeah,
she'd been struggling from alcoholism since she was in college, it sounded like. And they
for
talked
sure.
about her drinking, which is a very hard subject to broach. But I just think the way that they acted in Capri about her drinking was just like very negligent.
Well, because they kept saying, like, Tyson and Hannah kept saying, like, oh, after this time, we'll say something to her. After this, we'll,
Hmm.
like, if it happens one more time, or if so and so does this, like, then we'll say something. And it was like, no, just say something. Like, but
It
Lainey was getting so defensive every time they would bring it
it
up. She'd be
is.
like, stop being so controlling.
It's really relatable because I do feel like people that deal with people in their life with alcoholism or any kind of addiction, you get tired of
Yeah.
monitoring it, and I get
Yeah.
it. But I do feel as though when it comes unraveling that Hannah has been talking to Olivia, Lainey's other sister, and Lainey finds out um, and runs off. No one goes after her, and they
What?
give her time. They
Oh,
like linger at the bar, and
yeah.
to me, it's just disrespectful because it's like, well, she is probably gonna go like do something crazy. You know
You
this.
know she is. Like, she's not
She
just
just
at the hotel room.
Yeah, she just did it in Texas. Like she's gonna go do it worse because you guys broke promises.
Y-
Like the
Okay.
situation just warranted them to go chase her.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel about like the way that Lainey first approached the
Oh,
first
in the
sister and the
shower.
family? Wait, what?
Oh,
In the shower? Oh,
I was
no, no,
gonna
no.
say, oh, you approached Tyson.
We're not there yet. We're not there
Okay,
yet.
okay, okay, okay.
No, they just like showed up at one of the sisters' houses. They show up there, her and her two friends, and like the mom is there. So like her mom's arch enemy because
They gave her
it's
such a
crazy.
hard time about this interaction, the friends. And to me, I was like, listen, she has anger with her dad. And it just so happens, like, if I were Lainey, I'd be like, they're all here. And I get to
I
have a
can say my
moment.
piece.
I'm the unspoken child. I've been neglected my whole life. He
Let me
spent
have a
most of the
word.
time with the other
Yes.
children. And I'm not a proud person, but I think I would definitely venture down Lainey's road. Like I would be like, yeah, my mom's dead and he didn't even come to the funeral and
Yeah.
I'm his daughter and you guys suck. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay for her to feel those feelings but also like Lainey is a really good friend, and how she showed up for Hannah was so amazing. Like
Yeah.
that was my whole favorite part of the book was Lainey showing up and just taking the cheating situation into her hands. And then Hannah tries to set her up for like a slam dunk friendship move, and it was terrible because
Yeah.
Hannah didn't do any pre-planning, and Hannah is very selfish.
Whoa.
She
No,
is
she is.
like
She's a selfish friend.
she's a very selfish friend. She lets them fly to her aid, which she does need it. And I love how Lainey sticks up for her. And she's like selfless in picking Texas, but she did no groundwork or preparation to help this go smoothly. Like Lainey
Yeah.
did so much behind the scenes work
With
when she gets
Grady.
the guy with Grady or Brady. I can't
Why is
remember his name.
why is his name Grady? It's so
It should be
bad.
Brady.
Yeah, it should
Um,
be.
when she goes to the cafe and
The diner,
confronts
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Grady and the influencer, that's the best scene of all time. Like
Oh,
that
it's
is like
so amazing. And she keeps
it's
calling
so
her
epic.
the girl that he cheated. So Hannah caught her fiance like in their bed with someone else. And the girl's name was Berlin. And they, what did she keep calling her?
Oh, Hungary or something like that, like some other
No,
German city.
it was, was it Mulan? Was it, what was it? It
Oh, I
doesn't
can't
matter.
remember
It doesn't
now.
matter. But it was hysterical. And Lainey was just like, Lainey really took charge. But also, like, thank God Hannah is such a pushover because, like, if someone would have done that behind my back, I think I would have gotten really mad. But luckily, Hannah was like, "Oh, thank God you did that for me."
I love friendship like this where someone just takes control because sometimes in crisis you need someone to take control and oftentimes you're left to
Yeah,
deal with a terrible mess and you don't know what to do and there's no one there to help make decisions and I just love this of Lainey
yeah.
and she did so much just like protecting of her like went with her to her mother's house and
Oh
told her
yeah,
mom.
loved
And
that part.
I'm talking about this, and like the beginning of this book is a different book from the end of this book.
See, I think like my first like point here that I wanted to talk about the Hannah situation. Then I was like, no,
Yes.
like realistically, like the Hannah, like the struggle that Hannah is facing is so like in this book. Like the main plot is like Lainey, I think, but
Yes.
you think that the whole thing is about Hannah because that's how it starts. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't think it's a different
It's
book. I just think they go through such different like phases of the book. Like you meet them in college, then you meet Hannah at her worst, and then Lainey at her worst, and then Tyson at his worst. I don't know.
but not really Tyson. He doesn't really ever
He's
struggle.
kind of an idiot.
He has to face his mom and dad, but it's not that bad because his mom and dad are like awesome. And like they're like, son, just this doesn't seem right, but you're gonna make your decisions. What else do you
Okay.
expect a parent to say? Um, but I just don't know. I felt the writing was just so much stronger up front than at the end. I mean, I just felt like the writing really fell apart at the end for
I don't
me.
know. I disagree completely.
Well, that's
I don't
okay.
No, I don't think it fell apart and I don't think it was different. I just think well, I think it was different, but in like such a good way. But you're right about Tyson. I don't I don't know. And it also kind of stinks that cuz we both listened to it, right? Like you listened to the
Yes,
audiobook. Yeah, me too. And I always like wish that I could read a bit of it to see like how the writing actually like looks on paper.
on
That sounds
paper.
silly,
Yeah.
but like how it actually looks rather than how you're just like hearing it. So, but I really liked her writing. Like one of the points I made was like the detail that she goes into like at the very, very end of the book. they're talking, Hannah and Olivia are talking about how Olivia and Lainey's dad has a very like raspy voice. And it like clicked to me that they made the narrator for Lainey have like a slightly
A
raspy voice.
rasp.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's great. Like that's a great context. I love that teeny tiny minor detail.
Yeah, I think the audio acting was incredible for this book. I
She
really, I really
loved
love the
it.
voices, not just for Tyson, but for Hannah and Lainey. They were really brought to life to me. Um,
Yeah, no, I agree. And I
I
liked
just
how they
felt,
interpreted each other too.
oh yeah,
Like
and
Lainey's
I
voice for
mean,
Hannah and Hannah's
well,
voice for
Hannah's
Lainey.
voice for Tyson was just like a softball to what the real Tyson's voice was going to sound like. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, and then I just tried to like overloop it with Tyson's real audio
Oh
voice
my God.
over Hannah's Tyson voice.
No, Hallie's like sitting there. Hallie Bell's talking about like how great Tyson's voice is and how she's like obsessed with him. And I wrote like they were talking about how Lainey and Tyson mainly communicate via like sending Instagram reels back and forth. And I wrote, is Tyson really our dream man if he doesn't like phone calls and mainly communicates via Instagram reel?
This is
Well,
true.
it is true. No, I think Tyson's not the best. I'll say it.
Oh, I like Tyson. I mean, I don't know if it's because of his voice, but I felt like I
You don't
definitely
like
think
Tyson, you like JD Jackson.
he has the world handed to him on a silver platter, don't get me wrong. But
Whoa, hot take.
also he doesn't because of his race, and his position in society. But I felt as though he was like a little spoiled because he has amazing parents. But when he would respond to the girls when they were being crazy, I loved the cavalierness to him. Like I just felt like he was just like, "You're gonna do what you're gonna do, Lainey," or "Hannah, there's no reason to freak out." That's pretty good.
Felipe's looking over here like, what the hell?
Hannah, why are you freaking out, babe? No,
He'd be like, Hannah, we know Lainey acts this way. We
we
can't.
know.
Wait,
We know.
you
I
know who,
love it.
you know who he sounds like, Halle Bell?
Who?
Did you ever play Webkins?
Oh, yeah, but no, I don't know.
No, he sounds like the curio shop manager. The guy that's like, you want to sell your gemstones for
That is a niche thing, and that is like something I'm gonna have to like YouTube just to like remember.
look up curio shop Webkins, and the guy is like,
Okay.
you got a precious gem here. Why don't you sell it to me? And that is
Oh,
literally Tyson's voice.
that really jogged a memory to me.
Yeah, yeah.
That line. Oh my God.
Looks like,
But
okay, I'm sorry.
yeah,
We
I
have to
mean, when
stop.
he goes shopping with Lainey, that is like an unreal scene to me. Like the way that he acts is
Hmm.
just so amazing. He's like, I'm noticing the details that go into get your clothing.
And he's like, yeah, you can tell that a woman wrote his part.
I loved
Obviously.
it. I
Wait,
love,
okay,
love, loved it.
let's talk about all the plot twists. Specifically,
Oh, wait, one last thing
oh,
on voices.
oh,
Hannah's audiobook actor pronouncing the Italian things was just unreal to me. The Italian places and like landmarks, like she was like really speaking Italian.
well, but maybe that goes hand in hand with how good of a writer. Well, maybe because Hannah's character took 8 years of French. So
Oh,
maybe there was like a little ode to her. I don't know. She like definitely isn't good at speaking French. She says that. She's like, I didn't learn French. But who knows? Maybe like there's a bit in there about how like she's very like she really likes foreign languages. So maybe that
yeah.
was her audio, maybe that was her narrator trying really hard.
This book reminded me so much of One Italian Summer. I
Me
love
too.
that book. I
I
mean,
I love her. Who is that author?
oh, I can't remember. We should do
One
that
it
for this. We should
we
reread it.
we should no, we should reread that book. I think I read it last summer. And
It's
is it
such a
Rachel?
beautiful book.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it is such a fantastic book and it gets so much hate, Halle Bell. Like people
Are you
hate that book.
serious?
No, people hate that book.
Oh my gosh.
We're like the only two that I know that like it.
Who wouldn't want to travel with their ghost mom?
with their mom in ghost form.
I love that. And
I
I mean, and maybe that's why this book was a little bit of a letdown to me, is just because it wasn't like reaching that for me. And we were like in Italy, we were in Capri, and I was like, and I just also I had like an expectation that it was going to be a three location book with like equal plots in each thing. You know what I
no.
mean? Like equal time in each place, and they were going to make equal discoveries about somewhere. Like I think my expectations for the book were I just was going in with different expectations as I was reading in the beginning. I was like, okay, this is kind of how it's going to go. But it didn't go there. And the way that it went wasn't just, it just didn't fulfill me.
See, I think the opposite because I
Yeah,
think
that's okay.
that's okay. I think
No,
that
I mean, serious.
I thought
I
it was
think this book really does connect with like a younger crowd.
which
And
we
like,
needed right now
I know it's just, yeah, after sandwich.
after sandwich.
Um, it just didn't hit home with me about where I am in life. Like these characters just didn't bring any kind of emotion to me. Like the way Lainey acted at the end, it didn't bring me
Hmm.
to tears. Like I
Oh,
saw it coming, and I was like, she's made poor choices. Her friends are not in the maturity to
yeah.
help her or discourage her from what they were doing. I think Tyson might be, but he was like blinded by love and,
Which is
infatuation.
which is so crazy because these characters are literally like in their mid 30s. Like they're grown people
That's
with
crazy.
actual good careers. Like
Yeah,
they
that's
should be
crazy. And
mature
maybe
people.
like, kind of like happy place, like ringing to like the
Ugh,
immaturity of like the 30-year-olds in the world right now.
the guy who gives up
Um,
his entire career to make wooden tables, I can't let that
yes,
go.
that's how these characters are acting.
Yeah. Well, see,
And
but
and just
also,
Hannah being so absorbed. Like I know that this trip is partly for her because she is like, I mean, she deserves to find love after this heartbreak. But
yeah.
having to be with Lainey's sister that she meets online is just like a bit of a stretch to me. And she's like messaging her, and she's never been with a woman before. I just didn't see her character going there
Hmm.
organically.
Well, and that's what I loved the most about it, though, was because
Yeah.
like we saw her heartbreak, and I was actually telling Halliwell earlier in an audio message, but I'm gonna say it again. Like
Oh yeah.
we like there were subtle comments throughout the beginning about like the way she felt about her fiance, and it just like you couldn't feel the love, you know what I mean? So no, it wasn't organic whatsoever how she ended up with like Lainey's half sister, but it was also like a fun surprise for everyone, Hannah included, I think,
Oh,
because
that's
Hannah
beautiful.
would have never seen that coming. And she genuinely thought, because Hannah was also like our Southern belle that had her life like planned out for herself. She
Mapped
wanted to be
out.
married by 26, have a baby by 28, you know what I mean? And then she ends up falling for a woman under the weirdest circumstances in the world. And there's even like a small ode to like how they're going to end up having kids in the future. And I
I
just
love
thought it,
that.
yeah, I
I
just thought
mean,
it was beautiful because it's such a different take on it.
my favorite scene is them on their hike, and she's like pushing her to keep going. This is Greg to me, pushing me to keep going on the
You
hike,
got
and
it.
like, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Can we stop for a second?"
She's like, not all of us are professional tennis players.
I mean, it's really cute, but I mean, just the way that Lainey finds them is just so like, ugh,
I
Hannah,
know. I know.
you
No,
know?
it was definitely
And like
disrespectful how Hannah did it.
and like Olivia being like a little bit like felt to me by her actions, kind of being like, "Oh, I don't really care about my sister, but I'd love to meet you." And it's just kind of like, okay.
Wait, did you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Oh yeah, like I watched like the first two seasons.
Oh, okay. So in the very last season, I think it's the last one, Keely ends up with this woman named Jack.
Oh my
And
gosh.
do you remember that or did you watch it?
No,
Well, this book, like how they described Olivia was so Jack, this girl Jack. I think that's her name.
that's funny.
because she was just like kind of love bombing her and like pushing her to do things and like the way she talked to her. And I was like, oh my God, it's so. And it was like, and Keely was kind of like hiding it for a minute because Jack was like her boss. I don't know. It was just like crazy. And that's what I was
Okay, that
thinking.
is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking this whole time because Hannah was like kind of she was definitely like hiding Olivia when she should have just outright said like, "Hey, I reached out to your sister because I wanted to." She did it on good reason like, "Hey, I'm apologizing on behalf of all three of us for how we treated your sister and your mom. I'm so sorry. You're going to hear about it, yada yada yada." She could have said that to Lainey like, "Hey, I reached out to your sister. Turns out we have a lot in common and we like communicating. And unfortunately for all of us, we're going to keep texting."
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like I mean, like we had talked about, like it not quite making sense, but I mean, it does make sense because Hannah and Lainey are best friends, and it like if Lainey and her sister Olivia really are similar, it makes sense that she likes her personality.
Yeah.
Um, and I just don't know.
You
How
didn't feel it
the
was organic
I
for her
didn't feel
character.
like I feel like her character arc was just a little bit just misaligned from the book.
Okay, well, let me follow up with this. How do you feel about, because I thought the same towards Tyson. Like it was so against his character to end up with Laney.
Yes, I didn't love that because there was just no calling to it from college or whatever. Like I
Mm-hmm.
always thought, it's just like I feel like those things you need like a seed planted and it
See,
just came out in Capri. Oh,
n-
but you saw.
well, I wrote at the very beginning of the book, I think I wrote, why are her and Mr. Amazing not together? I couldn't remember. Then I wrote dot 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 Tyson because I couldn't figure out his name. So that was like at the very, very beginning of the book when she found out Grady was cheating on her. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
Hannah and
Hannah.
Hannah and
I was like, Hannah and Tyson should be together.
I thought they were gonna get together.
Yeah, no, me too. And then like halfway
So
through,
doesn't it kind of make sense for Hannah and Tyson to come together and then Lainey to find like her free spirit woman to connect with? Like, I don't know, like in my perfect book world, that's probably how it would have gone.
but maybe that would have been too easy, Halle Bell.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and I just think that there needed to be consistency somewhere. Like there wasn't consistency with the like time and the places, and then there was like inconsistency in the characters. And to me, the ending just felt like somebody was like, "Hey, this is due at 5 o'clock. You
We
finished?"
got to wrap it
And
up.
she was
Wrap
like,
it up.
"Oh shoot, it's 3:30." Like
Yeah.
that's how it felt to me a bit.
Okay, how it felt to me. I think we've never been more like
That's
back and forth.
funny.
We've never been so back and forth on a book. It's perfect.
No.
But I think the consistency in the book is the inconsistency in the characters. Like
Mm,
the thing that's consistent is that all of them are completely changing. And they
I love that.
like something dramatic and like their whole personalities, every single one of them changes. And
You're
that's the consistency.
Maybe you just interpreted the book better than me.
No, I really like this book was crazy for me. Like I finished it and like
Wow.
if it took if it was a 9 hour audiobook, I finished it in 10 with like a quick bathroom break. I loved this book
That is crazy. I'm so glad. Um,
because I've hated the last few. I'm kidding.
no, no, because we have had such, I feel like new books that have been coming out have just been missing the
They
mark.
have not hit home. Yeah.
And I feel like maybe I had like a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Also, I'm on my period.
Me
And
too.
we just really?
Yeah, we're synced up from miles away.
Wow. Girls.
Cover to cover girls, sponsored by not Tampax.
So sponsored by an organic off-brand that I got somewhere.
Wait, can I just say, I was like telling Felipe about that. I was like, there's this thing going around with like tampons and like lead. And he was like, you'll be fine. Like
Okay.
he was like, I think you'll be good. Like it's only like a couple tampons. He didn't say that, but he was like, you'll be fine, I think. And I was like, maybe you
Women
should read.
dying, who cares?
I was like, maybe you should
Um,
read into it.
I think I am a pad girly, just full disclosure to our girls. and I feel never been more confident on my side of the road.
Yeah, I've never been less confident in my vaginal health.
Oh man. Yeah, so
Anyway,
maybe, how that always impacts your mood. And I finished the book today during nap time,
no, I finished it today too. Yeah.
and I was just kind of like, yeah, 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 wrap up. Oh, and
No.
Tyson and Lainey, blah, blah, blah. But I just was really annoyed and disappointed with Lainey's character, and I get like they were just giving her space to like come to her own conclusions. Um, but for me, like Tyson, and like they just glossed over her, okay, trigger warning,
Yeah, go ahead.
rape. Um, they never talk about that. And if I were Tyson, and I mean, of course it wasn't her fault, but she put herself in that situation, like in a very terrible, like on a yacht in Europe, uh, drinking heavily,
S-
intending, she's like, I'm either going to black out or I'm going to pass out. Like that is like was her goal of the
Yeah.
night. And so that what like, I'm not making excuses for her, but I just felt like to me they just kind of glossed over that and how that would affect Tyson and their relationship. Like, yes, she went into recovery and got help, but to me, Tyson, there was just like some forgiveness. I think that needed to happen with Lane, like her running off and like intending to go and hook up with
Yeah,
somebody
yeah, yeah.
else is like after they're starting like an actual love connection is just not right.
Well, but I think, sorry, I'm not completely
Oh,
missing the
go ahead.
mark. No, I'm completely missing the mark here. But I don't think she was sexually assaulted because
Mm.
before she goes to the hospital, she's like her internal monologue is like, "Oh, I went out and I had sex." Like she is telling herself like of these bad things she did. And then the hospital is the one that was like, "Hey, there might have been something here." And she was like, she doesn't say anything because she knows she did have sex. So was it consensual? I don't
She did
know.
have sex, but if you can't remember the person and you can't remember if you
For
consented,
sure.
it wasn't
For
consensual
sure.
sex.
For sure.
And
I wanted to know more about that night.
yes, for real. And that's the thing is like I wanted to know more about Summer's history. I wanted to know more about that night. She's like alluding to
Hmm.
all these horrific events. And I just felt like they didn't flesh them out. And like the in between of like it was just kind of like wrapped up very quickly. It's like, Lainey's in the hospital. 2 years later, she's in recovery, and Dyson and her are getting married. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess
See,
everything's okay.
I kind of liked the ending because I think she did wrap it up in a way that like it made sense for me. I was like, okay, Lainey, there's no need to keep talking about it, but
Mm-hmm.
Lainey is healthy now. Hannah is happy in her relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's accomplishing the dream that he and Summer wanted, which was to be a high school English teacher, which was so beautiful to me. And so I think it
I
was
love
wrapped
that.
up fine. Like it was definitely quick. Like it was a quick wrap up, but it was wrapped up well to me. So those are my opinions on it.
I just
But
didn't think it was wrapped up
I
well because I
know.
just needed a little
You
bit
you
more
wanted
of like what
more.
happened this summer.
Okay, see,
And
that's
this is
what
called the Summer Pact.
you never answered. What do you
Oh
think
yeah.
happened? Like, why do you think Summer
Oh,
did?
I think there was something else going on. Like I would love to know what her and Lainey's last conversation was. Just my mystery mind.
Yeah.
And then also how she and Tyson kind of left things was just not so great. And I think it was like I remember in college feeling very frantic at times about tests and boys and friendships and all kinds of like and it just
Just
kind of
life, yeah.
piles up. And I think it would have been really beautiful for her to kind of like like hear from Summer like her expressing like it's just too much.
Yeah.
Because in college it can really feel like that. They put so much pressure on you. And if there are any college listeners out there who are going through a hard time, guess what? It doesn't matter.
Literally, college does not matter.
It doesn't matter. And if you wanted to drop out right now, do it.
Your
Like
life is going to
it's
be the
just
exact same.
I'm sorry. Like I mean, I have some great like tidbits from college that I learned, but like honestly, all my communication stuff was so out of date by the time I actually entered into a marketing, you know, for
Yeah.
like my degree was so out of date because it takes you 4 years to do, and then really 4 years to get your job. and then your dream job,
Yeah.
you don't get it right out of college.
Yeah. No,
Spoiler
I agree
alert.
completely. I agree
You get like
completely.
a terrible job that does nothing to do with your degree, most people.
Yeah, no, for
And
real.
then you're 4 years out or 5 years out, and like your college degree is literally useless because it's
Useless.
like irrelevant to what
No,
you are doing.
seriously.
I get that it can be, socially developmentally helpful to like become an adult, but I also
Of
think it
course.
kind of like encapsulates young adults and doesn't help them gain responsibility. Some people like they actually become like a little more immature in
Yeah.
college, and then
No,
they
I agree.
you know so anyways,
Yeah.
I wish that they would have like really, I think it was just a building for Summer. Like she has like
You
this,
think?
how is this romance with Tyson going to work out? How are my girlfriends going to react? Hannah's kind of acting weird, she's kind of blowing off my needs. Whatever happens with Lainey, and then she has this test and she cheats, and it's just like it's too
Too much.
much.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And now I wish, what would have been
Yeah.
good was like if we had like did you ever read what was the book? There was a book that was super popular like a couple years ago. And I think it was Layla by Colleen Hoover. And like every few
uh
chapters, you got the ghost perspective. I would have loved a
a
summer watching down
ghost
on them
perspective.
perspective.
That's what I was thinking. I felt like the book could have been like 100 pages more or
Mm-hmm.
50 pages more. It
Oh,
felt just a little short, just
yeah,
like a
like
little, I don't know, like there could have been more in Paris and there could have been more like in Texas, I think. I mean, and I don't want it to drag on, and I know we accuse books of dragging on sometimes, but I could have seen a couple of more pages.
yeah, I agree. I didn't need any more pages in Paris because I liked what happened. They were running and then they got engaged and it was all happy go lucky. Like I was fine there, but I definitely did. Like I would have loved like three summer perspectives. Like
Ooh, yeah,
after the first quarter, after middle, and then at the very end. I would have
yes.
loved that. And I'd like to
Like
talk to Emily Giffin.
I know, and I get that people, that's just really true. Like people who commit suicide, they oftentimes, I mean, more than often don't leave notes. And maybe she didn't want to set like another unrealistic expectation for a suicide death for someone.
Yeah.
But I just think in the sake of just in the literary vein of fiction, it just would have been helpful in this book.
See, I agree completely in the literary sense, but I think in the like realistic sense of life, it was very nice that there was no closure on Summer because we
Hmm.
got to see
I can see it from
like
both sides.
yeah, you get to see how like you see Lainey's internal monologue, all of their internal monologues like why did this happen? Like they're processing it exactly how we are, and I think that's
Yeah.
really cool.
It is really cool, and I think that is a new wave of book where it's just really real. It's real
Oh, for
fiction. If
sure.
you know what I mean? They're not
Mm,
trying to like create a fictional story. They're trying to create a fictional real story. And I
I'm
think
sorry.
that that's really beautiful.
No,
Oh, go ahead.
I agree completely. I was just gonna say it's the complete opposite of Hannah Brown's Mistakes We Never Made, which was like
Yes.
so far-fetched, so fiction. Uh,
That it could have used some more realism.
it needed some realism. Oh my gosh.
There is a balance there, when you're writing fiction about like, and how we talked about with Sandwich. It
Yeah.
was a little too relatable, a little too close to reality,
Yeah.
for some to digest. And this, like, I felt like was another one of those things. It's like, man, authors are really trying to connect with people in a real way,
Oh, for
not just
sure.
giving them a fictional story for them to like even rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like kind of like a new genre.
I think it is. It's like fiction realism.
Fiction realism. I think that's a new genre.
That's what we're calling it. Man.
Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I did really enjoy the book, and I thought it was one of the best of the new wave books that's come out.
Agree completely. What did you rate the book?
I don't know, but it
I
just
don't
isn't
know.
all the way there for me. It's like I think if I wasn't on my period and like if I wasn't on my period and if I had gotten a summer wrap up, this would have been like a 4.5 star book for me.
Ooh.
Um, but I'm gonna be a Deb because I'm on my period and
No, please.
I'm keeping it real. Like you, Emily
Yeah.
Giffin. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give it a 3.9. Like
A
it's just
three.
not quite a 4 for me.
I thought you were gonna say like a 3 or a 3.5.
Oh yeah, I'm so
Because
harsh.
me thinking that it was like the perfect book, I think I'm giving it like a 4.5. Like
That's good.
I want to give it a 4, but I don't have anything to justify the 4. Like I think it in my heart it deserves a 4.5.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, no, I really liked this book. Oh, I was gonna ask you, who was your favorite perspective?
Oh, Tyson.
But
I
not
just
but
love a guy's perspective because I'm a girl, and he really hit the nail on the head with like the
she did.
guy's
He was a great
POV.
character. He was a great character.
Who was yours?
I don't know. I honestly just thought about that right now. I don't know. I don't know. I liked listening to Hannah's mainly because like Hannah was very misunderstood and there were a couple times in Hannah's perspective where she justifies her actions. Like at one point she walks away from them and Tyson and Lainey are like, there goes Hannah again. She hates confrontation. When in reality, like Hannah had a good reason for walking away. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of fun to read. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
is fun. Yeah, she wasn't as innocent, I think, as even her friends were.
Oh,
Believe
for
she
sure.
were. Like
Yeah.
she was very in tune with what was going on. I just think that she was very naive with the Lainey situation and she just really didn't think that through and that really like dampened her character for me. And so it was
Yeah.
just kind of like bad taste in my mouth because I just love that chapter of all their three perspectives going through Hannah's breakup. That was like the
Oh
best
my
part of the
gosh.
book for me.
And it was so great that the whole time Tyson was like outwardly, he was like, whatever you need. But inside, like, he was like, I hated this guy from the beginning.
God, Lainey, can we just tone it down? I just,
Tyson was a dad. He was such a dad in this book.
he is such a
He was
dad.
like,
And
God, Lainey, you don't need to make her feel worse.
yeah, it's just, and how they did the dinner scene, that was like the best. And they were like, let's stick him with the check. And I was like, yes.
No, but no, but then Tyson goes back and is like, if he
And
gives
he's
you
like,
any
if he
trouble
gives you
with the
trouble
credit
with the
card,
bill.
let me know. Give me a call. Wait, okay, let me ask you. If you were Hannah and you walked in and caught that scene, what would you have done? I
Oh,
would have been Lainey. I would have punched
I'm the
somebody.
I'm the jealous. I just would literally be like in consult. Like I would go to jail for sure.
I was just gonna say I would put a bullet through someone's head.
I don't know if I would choose. I would definitely
Well,
physical contact. I
it would
would
be
have
physical.
ripped her
Her
a
hair.
new
I
one.
would. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm very strong.
you're very strong. We've talked about this on at least 3 episodes. You are very strong.
I'm really,
It's
really
because you're
strong.
toting around these big old boys.
I put springs on a trampoline strong. So
And that takes a lot of
if you've
strength.
ever assembled a trampoline,
Don't
it
get me
is
started.
no joke.
It's really no joke. Okay. Can we please do Halle Bell and I also disagree on if this book should be a movie or not, but can we do our casting? Because I really want to hear who you thought
She
whoever.
said, she said, get your casting ready. And I said, should this book be a movie?
And I
I
said
don't know.
I said of course it should. It
Any book
absolutely
that
should.
you read and that you love, you want it to be a movie because you want to see it brought to life. And so I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think I was doing some thinking and I was
Okay.
like,
Let's
you know
go
what?
cast for cast.
Hannah
Okay.
reminds me of Diana Aragon with like a short bob from
Wait, I
Glee.
who is that from Glee?
The
Which
mean
character?
girl, the blonde, like in her
Yes.
Glee days,
Yes. Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And then Lainey to me was all over the place because she's supposed to be beautiful, but her voice is like raspy and kind of funny. So I was like, I don't know what she would be.
Okay. You don't have anyone for Lainey?
No, go with yours.
Wait, I just want to say that was the perfect pick for
Thank you.
Hannah.
Like
I'm
Glee
looking at
Days,
her
Diana
again.
Aragon.
Oh my gosh. Like that is the perfect pick.
That's
So
Hannah.
For Hannah, I put someone who I think looks very similar to her is a young Kristen Bell.
Yes,
But I
yes.
also I also wrote Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning. She's in The Perfect Couple, uh,
Is
Ellen
she?
Hildebrand's first Netflix debut.
Oh, I
And
didn't know
I'm
that.
very excited. And actually, it's one of Dakota Fanning's like adult movies. Like
Yeah,
she,
because she hasn't, yeah.
she really took a break from Hollywood and like came back for this, and so it's very
Ooh.
special.
Wait. Okay, so you don't have anyone for Lainey?
No, she's just crazy. Couldn't even picture her in my mind. Like she kept metamorphosizing. Like I was picturing her in like stuffy like suits, like when she
Suits,
came. Yeah, like a blazer. Like she
yeah,
was like a blazer girl to me,
but like was out there doing the craziest shit.
but out there doing crazy things.
Huh. See, while listening,
Honestly,
what?
honestly, Naya Rivera from
From
Glee.
Glee. Yes. Wait, is this whole book the cast of Glee?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, um, um,
Tyson?
Grady. No, Grady would have
Oh,
been like Puck or
Puck.
whatever his name is.
Yes. No, 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 no. He would have been wait, Monteith?
My-
Okay,
No,
he would have been him.
who, Grady or
Grady.
Tyson?
No, Tyson. Tyson's not in Glee.
No, Tyson's not in Glee. Tyson, for Tyson, guess who I wrote? You'll
Who?
get it nail on the head. I know you will. Think about us right now in our stage of life. Come on,
What
Hallie
do you
Bell. We
mean? I don't know.
think about my mailbox.
Your mail boss?
My mailbox, where mail comes. What was supposed to be in my mailbox?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Renee. Renee from Bridgerton
Simon, the Duke of Hastings.
with Naya Rivera.
Insane. In a match made in
Boom.
heaven. Okay, see, wow.
Rest in peace because she.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
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 See, I took it a completely different direction. And for Lainey, I wrote two people. I wrote Haley Bieber and Sarah Hyland. I think Sarah Hyland's a
Oh,
good
Sarah
one.
Hyland. Yeah, she's crazy and
Yeah,
blazery.
yeah. I don't have anyone for Summer though. No, but you know who I originally wrote for um like Lainey was
Summer's
like
strawberry blonde
I know
pigtails. So,
I
like
don't
who? Like a nobody.
I don't have anyone. I don't have a single person in mind. I think I kind of put like I've said this before for someone else, but like a young Julia Roberts. I don't know.
I
No,
don't know.
you know who I kind of see Lainey also as is Monica Geller. Courtney
Oh
Cox Arquette.
yeah, yeah,
Courtney
yeah. No,
Cox
for
Arquette.
real.
Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
Naya Rivera
It's not. It's
and
not.
Renee to me
Isn't that a
now.
good one?
That's so good.
Simon the Duke of Hastings. I
If
wrote down,
that could really happen, if Naya was just still here with us,
may she
like
rest in peace.
her and Renee would have had to have coupled up on something because that's just a beautiful pairing.
Beautiful pairing. Sophie's like trying so hard to be quiet. You can go. Greg fully walks through. Greg's like, hey, team.
Hi guys, Greg checking in.
He's like, just want to make sure the audio visual's good. Okay, well, I wrote, you never really got into the Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise, did you?
So I was a very avid watcher in high school. Like I was like
Yeah,
I like would host parties and things like with my friend Ellie.
makes sense.
Well, and by party I mean me and her. We would have like lavish events for
By a watch
ourselves.
party? You mean the two of you? Okay, well, you'll know. For Grady, I wrote Grady is every guy from Hannah Brown's season of The Bachelorette. Just all of
Yes.
them. Like
Yes, all of them.
he was the pilot. He was Luke. He was the guy that won. He was also Tyler Cameron. Like he was all of them.
No, he's uh
Luke.
ugh. No, 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 no. From Gilmore Girls.
I've never
The
seen Gilmore
Oh,
Girls.
he's the preppy guy. Logan. He's Logan
Logan.
from Gilmore Girls.
Wow.
He totally is.
This is such a fun cast.
This is a
Who do
fun cast.
who who do we think Olivia is?
Oh, from Orange is the New Black, the
Yeah.
girl with the short hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to look up. I'm sorry. I have to show you
Honestly,
why.
Piper is kind of a Hannah.
Yeah.
Her
Yeah.
actor. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Jack Ted Lasso. I have to show you this girl because I think you'll be like, oh my God, that is Olivia. Look at her. You can't tell me this isn't
Man.
Olivia.
Yeah, that's Olivia
To a T. That is
to
her.
a T. I really miss the Orange of the New is the New Black days. When they opened season 2 for Orange is the New Black, that opening is like I stand by like one of the best
It's
television.
revolutionary.
It was revolutionary when Piper's on the bus and she doesn't know where she's going.
Wow.
And there's like that what's that song playing?
I don't know.
Oh, it's just so good. If you haven't watched that in a while, it's like a really good show.
See, I got into Orange is the New Black, but not like that. Like I wasn't like it was like my background show.
After season 3, like I don't even know if there was after a season 3. And
I don't
season
know.
3 wasn't strong for me, but season 1 and season 2 I was like
Yeah.
invested. I was like, what
No,
is
I agree. Yeah.
happening?
Wow.
Yeah, wow. I don't
Good
know why that made me think
casting.
of that.
This is a great casting.
This is a really good one. And
Oh,
it could never be, and that's what makes it so great.
yeah. No, I agree. I just thought of one. Since we're
Mm.
on the Bridgerton series, I think Phoebe could be Summer.
Yes. Oh, what a great call.
Yeah. And
That's a
that makes
great
sense with
call.
Simon.
She's
Wait,
just
can I?
not athletic enough.
No, I know. She was so
She's like very
athletic.
frail.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
But
How,
also, it's like hard to imagine like a beefy girl named Summer,
but she
but
wasn't
not beefy,
beefy. She
just like
ran
really
track.
athletic, like a Simone Biles body with strawberry blonde hair.
I don't see it.
It's just hard.
No, it's really hard. I'm like trying to think of people we know. Like I'm gonna start calling out real human people in our lives and be like, that's her.
There's no one I know.
I'm thinking of like your baby shower. Like who was at your baby
Oh,
shower?
I can't say.
Okay, you'll text it to
I'm
me
gonna
later.
tell you later, but I have someone in our personal life.
Ooh, okay. Well, I have someone for Olivia too. I have a couple people that I could talk about. And it's not a
Okay,
bad thing. Not a bad thing
perfect. We'll do
whatsoever.
a realist cast after the episode.
And then we'll put up pictures of our friends all over the internet. I'm kidding.
Oh
Wow.
man.
This was a
Well, this
great
was a
book.
good one. And I just yeah, this was a great conversation and I love that we had differing opinions because that
Yeah.
doesn't happen often. And
No.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the book.
I really love this book. Like, I thought the first like quarter of the book, I don't know why I'm going in quarters and not like halves or thirds, but like the first fourth of this book just like hooked me. I was like, this is such a good story. Like the
Yeah, the
writing,
first part of the
the
book
writing may
was
not be
just
great.
really well.
Yeah, like it was so good. It just like really hooked me and like I just felt like it was just like it rose the whole time. I know you disagree, but for me it just like there was a constant uphill of like plot
You're
twists
right.
and
No, and I love a
craziness.
book of all rise.
You do. You hate a downfall.
I hate a downfall.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I was watching Father of the Bride the other day, and that's a movie of all rise.
I've
There is
never seen it.
nothing bad that happens there.
Oh my God. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
It's so good. I can do a Franck voice really good.
Do you want to? Should
When
you do it?
when he goes, Papala, come here. This is a cake of many fashionable weddings. And this cake, I just don't do anymore. And this cake is fabulous.
This whole podcast is us doing impersonations of people we shouldn't be doing
And
impersonations
people are
of.
like, this is bad.
And we're like, listen to us do JD Jackson.
I'm really good at this voice. I don't know what to
Wait,
talk
Halle
about.
Bell. Halle Bell, I know your birthday just passed, but for Christmas, I'm gonna get you like a
A
video, like
cameo.
a cameo of JD Jackson, like putting you to bed. Like,
Put me to bed.
Halle
Put me to
Bell,
bed, JD.
good night, Halle Bell. I hope you had a
Tuck me
great day.
in.
You know what's so funny is like his voice is so different than Greg's ever will be.
Well,
Well, you want, we all want, you know,
I don't call them dreams for nothing.
and with that,
And that's a wrap.
we're so dumb.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Cover to Cover Girls. We hope that you guys enjoy these episodes. Please comment anything that you guys want us to add, read.
Yeah, please.
I don't know.
No, we need book recommendations because
We need book
we
recommendations.
need us because
for real.
we're rereading. I'll jump into it.
Mm.
We're rereading. Hopefully, don't get mad. We're rereading It Ends With Us because the movie comes out
Yes.
next week, and then
We're
want
going
to
to see it. We're going to do
separately
a
but
compare and
together.
contrast episode.
Mhm. I'll go ahead and tell you I hated the book.
Oh my gosh. I just think it's a riveting storyline, and I
Ugh.
had totally forgotten about the Ellen stuff. But we'll get into it.
Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres. Remember, she's writing these letters to Ellen DeGeneres.
Literally choke me. Like someone kill me. I hated that book. I hated that
I
book.
guess it's post Ellen cancel, or it's pre Ellen cancellation, so it's just like really, I don't know. It's like a niche time in history.
It is a niche time in history when Ellen DeGeneres was like popular.
Iconic.
Iconic. When Ellen DeGeneres was like the woman of the hour.
Oh my gosh! Like everyone wanted to be on Ellen.
No,
But
and it
anyway,
makes sense because it was
we
when
have got
it
to
was,
talk about this on the next episode.
yeah. Okay, we'll talk about it next time.
Stop.
But we want to we're rereading that. We want to read One Italian Summer. Like we need book recommendations. So I do have a couple authors who are willing to give us books, so we need to talk about those at some
Perfect.
point.
Yes. Do you guys want more author interviews, or do you like the original recipe of me and Michelle?
The HBMO recipe. You can't
'Cause
break what's already broken. I don't know.
can't. We're like mac and cheese.
I think we get more delusional every episode.
Every episode. It's so
All right.
Actually, we say a lot of smart things in the middle, and then at the end we just totally deteriorate.
It's like La La Land. We're like, well,
It's like, anyways,
it's 9:07 p.m. We can have our nighttime crazy time. Anyway.
Yeah, we're like the cat that like gets the zoomies before bed.
Yeah, exactly. While everyone else is like coming off the high of the review, it should be like calm, and it's not.
It's not. No, we
No, and
kind of like ramp up.
Yeah,
Right at the end.
It's a constant uphill, like the books we read.
Oh my gosh. Well,
You know
thank
what?
you guys for hanging in. Because if you've made it this long, you're a true cover to cover girl. I say it at the end of every
No, that's my
episode.
favorite tagline of yours. Well, thanks everybody.
And I hope you guys tune in for the It Ends With Us compare and contrast. That's what we're gonna call it. And yeah, we'll talk to you next time.
Happy reading.
Bye.
Bye.